Hello everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan, here with a pre-recorded video for Saturday SIP, Stamps, Ink, and Paper. So today, I actually am copying a card that I saw by, it was not Stampin' Up! So it doesn't look exactly like the one that I saw, but I just had to give it a try. So, I tried it first, like, to totally make it different. I tried it like this, which is fine. You know, it's an acceptable card. But then, I didn't love it. I like it. I shouldn't say I didn't love it, but I didn't. So, I wanted to make it more like the one that I saw. So, I decided to use Impressions of Bloom, but mostly the dies. I will be using 2 stamps, thanks, and I appreciate you, but I'm mostly using the dies. And to save time, I've pre-cut all of the die pieces, so, and all the cardstock. So I'll be using 2 pieces of basic white cut 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of hang on, my brain won't remember what it's called. Fresh Freesia, 8.5 by 11. This is not what I want. Hold on, grab the wrong color. Okay, sorry about that. So the base of the card is actually going to be Highland Heather, but then I am also using a piece of Fresh Freesia. Now this is cut a little bit wider. Well, it is still 4 1/4, but I am going to be trimming it down. And then it's just cut on an angle. I didn't, you know, I just cut the angle. So the longer angle is 4 inches and the shorter angle is 1 1/4, but I'm going to trim it off. You will see what I'm talking about in a moment. So this is the card base. So I'm going to move these out of the way for now and start with my card base and fold this in half. You'd think when I was recording that my brain would function a little better, but I swear it's crazy that sometimes when I record a video, I do worse than when I'm doing it live. I don't know why. Okay, so now we are going to play a little bit. So one of those is going to go on the inside, and then one of these is going to get trimmed down. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump out some of my colors here. These you can see are all the dies from the bundle. Now one trick, I was going to cut out, there's leaves, there's individual leaves, and then there's this leaf, and I found that for what I'm doing, I could get away with just cutting this rather than cutting, you know, a bunch of little things. So, although I do have some extra pieces in there, and then I cut out the insides of the flower in both sides, which is what these are. Okay, so these are the flowers. I've got some of these tiny flowers, and then I've got this stem for the leaf. I'm not going to be using any of the ovals, although I think they're very cool. They're not a part of this project. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to set this on my silicone sheet, and I am going to be grabbing all of the stuff that is in Fresh Freesia, and I'm just going to kind of start setting it on here just so I can kind of get an idea of where things are going to go. And I want to cover it as much as I can with these flowers and Perfection is overrated. You guys know how I feel about that. So don't panic. So anyway, you see that I'm just sort of making sure things fit, right? And like I said, I am going to cut this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this one on here, and then I'm going to use the leftover piece to glue over here because I want to be sure. And then I might use some of this piece to glue down in here. All right, so I'm going to just start gluing things down, and I want these glued down pretty good. So I'm going to use the trick that you guys have been seeing me do lately with my little silicone makeup brushes to stretch them all out to the side. And I will tell you, I will be getting glue everywhere. Hence the silicone mat. Okay. I don't want to put glue on all of this one because it is going to hang off. Okay. Glue down some of my bigger pieces first. So, just as a reminder, I am your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan. This is a pre-recorded video. If you want to see me live, I usually go live on my Facebook page on Tuesdays, where I do a little tiny tip, which is never really a tiny tip. That's what it was supposed to be, and it never really is. It ends up being more than that. All right. Ugh, I don't want them on top of each other. So I'm moving that one a little tiny bit. All right. Got to remember where I put stuff. All right. So, also, if you're looking to shop for Stampin' Up! Products, you know, you can go to MemoryINKers.com. That is my Stampin' Up! Website. And it is where you can get the products that I show here. The online extra items. If you're looking for last chance items, when the last chance lists are available, that is also going to be found there. So again, I'm filling this up as much as I can. I don't like when I get it on the front, but it happens, right? Okay, I'm not going to worry about that because that's probably going to get covered up a little bit. Let me see. Put that right there. So I just thought this was such a fun idea. You know, we like to use our embossing folders, which certainly an embossing folder would be 100% easier, but sometimes you don't have one that you want. I mean, I don't have, there is no embossing folder that has these flowers. So I had to come up with this, right? All right, so now remember I said I was going to save those pieces. So I'm going to just grab my snips and cut them off. Oh, that one feels like it doesn't want to stick really good. Maybe I forgot to glue it. You think? I think maybe I did. Okay. You can put this on your paper trimmer because see, now I see I made a mistake. So I am going to end up putting this on my paper trimmer because I cut into the main piece and I don't want to do that. And it's going to be a bit of a stretch for your paper trimmer. I just did it again. Because you're going to be going through a couple of thicknesses of stuff. All right. So now I am going to place, I think I'll put that one. No, that's too much like it. I'll do this. That's good, right? Yep, I think so too. I do miss, when I do these recordings, I do miss being able to see your comments. Although, please comment, because I will go and I will look them up again. So, I will respond when I go back and look at the different things after the video goes live on Saturday. So, here we go. All right. So now I have that all done. I'm going to give it just a minute to dry. It should dry pretty quickly. But then I'm going to take it to my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim it off. I want to do this angle first. Actually, I think this one's okay. So I might just do this. Because while I'm trimming, I may as well put it on the piece of basic white, which is going to be a part of it. So, remember I said I made some mistakes here and here. So I'm going to put it a little bit off of what I normally would do. So see, here it is. I'm going to like move it over this way and down just a touch. And then I'm going to trim it up. It's not too far off, but it is a little bit off. There we go. And I'm actually going to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to trim it mostly up here. I've got to trim this off and get that straight. But then before I trim, I'm going to put, this is just a tiny, what is this? It's like a 1/4 inch of gold. And just so you know, when you have glue on your fingers, it will end up messing up the shiny of the gold. So I'm just going to put a little bit here, right on the edge of this pretty lavender, because I want to be sure I have enough room at the top. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go trim it down. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've trimmed it down 3 1/4 by 5. And I am going to emboss, wet emboss, the word thanks. I did start this, right? Okay, yes. Woo! So I'm using my embossing buddy to make sure I don't get any little stray powders when I put it on. And I'm just going to use some Versamark. And I'm going to stamp thanks up in the corner. Then I'm going to sprinkle the embossing powder on it, which is off camera, I'm sorry to tell you. I'll have to take pictures of how I keep my embossing powder so you guys can see. But this is what it looks like before it's embossed. And then you just use a heat gun, okay, which you can get at Stampin'Up.com or MemoryInkers.com, and heat it. But it's loud, so I'll be right back. Okay, so there you can see it's nice and embossed. Then I have some gold foil paper, which is also available on my website. And what I did was I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm kind of cheap, so I wanted to save this piece in the middle. So I kind of started to cut it, and I just used my trimmer by, you know, you can lift the blade up and cut in just certain areas. So that's, I'm so sorry. That's what I did for this. I've showed you guys that trick before. But if you have questions about it, let me know. And then I'm just going to snip off this. And see now, look, this is a whole piece that I can do something with. And believe me, I will. Except I just dropped it. Sorry about that. I had to pick it up because my chair is on wheels, and I know I would have just wheeled right over it, and then it wouldn't be very good for much. So now I'm going to adhere this to the gold piece. I'm going to put this back on here just in case it goes over, so I don't get it all over my glass mat. Come on. There we go. My I tend to get adhesive everywhere. It doesn't seem to matter what I'm doing or how good I think I am. Like, I think I'm not getting any adhesive anywhere except for where I want it. And then my glass mat ends up full of adhesive. It's very strange. But you can see how cute that is. Someone's calling me, and I think it's my son. So he doesn't know that I'm recording something. So he'll just have to call my husband and find out what's going on. He called to say he was coming in the house, and he doesn't like to come in unless he, knows it's okay to come in the house. I don't know why. I mean, we're fine with him walking in, but he's just really polite like that. He's a good boy. I like him. Isn't that a nice thing for a mother to say? Okay, so there we go. We have this glued onto the card front. Now we get to play. So, you notice I saved some things. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take some of the darker Highland Heather flowers that are, not this color, they're this color. And I am going to glue them onto that gold striped area. Like so. And I want one of these. If you can hear, my son just came in, and we are dog sitting right now for my daughter Brittany's puppy, who we will eventually keep when she is no longer with us. But she asked us to take him for a while because she's having trouble taking care of him with her health issues. So we did, because he's our grand puppy. And then I want one little one to go off. I probably should have moved that over a little bit. Oh well. I'm gonna squeeze it on there anyway. Here we go. Then I want to add some little ones in the why do I can't remember? Fresh freesia. Why am I struggling with that? I don't know. I do not know. It's so odd. I feel like I should have another one of these little ones, but I don't see it. I probably used it. And I'm going to put another one up here. I'm going to tuck it like that. All right, so now I've got all those. Then I'm going to take some the leaves, which I have some, and I'm just going to add them here and there just to make it more fun. As you can see. Now this is one I'm using from the old set that I already had, because why would I not? And I'm going to trim it. I want it to be a little shorter, I think, because I'm going to tuck it over here under this one, if it lets me. And I wanted it to just be a little bit of a shorter leaf. And then this one looks a little odd from where I cut it too, so Do I want this one? Nope. All right. I'm going to do this to get the leaf that I want. Sometimes you got to play a little bit, right, to get what you really want and how you really want it to look. And then I'm going to give myself some grace here. I don't know yet. I don't know. So instead, I'm going to just start putting on some of these awesome gold circles. Wow, do you think I could have got a little more on there? Let's not use quite that much. Yikes, because this has little holes in it, and so adhesive is going to pop up through there. But now I have plenty of glue here that I can reach over. Oops, got one of those baby flowers there. And get some adhesive for these big ones. And I have a couple of small ones. Let's see. I need 3 of the little ones. See how there's so much glue on my fingers? They're just sticking everywhere. Look, see, can you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is too much adhesive. So what I'll do when this dries is I'll use my adhesive eraser. You know what those guys are. They look like a big goop of rubber, like a yellowy rubber. My fingers have so much glue. I'm not kidding you. I told you guys this would happen. So, you know, keep a warm washcloth or something close by if that really bugs you. I'm kind of, you know, here nor there about it. I guess I'm just used to it being, go grab some of this. All right. Now, if you wanted to, see how this one here is hanging off over the gold? I could have trimmed it. I could have put all of these on before I trimmed the white, but I didn't want to. I wanted to have them just be as they are. Now I have to decide if I'm going to still use this leaf. That's kind of okay. I think that's kind of good. I'm going to still use this because I have too much of it. And I kind of like that it's going towards the thanks. Now, I did a bunch of these little tiny ones, and I put them on the other card, but I think I'm going to leave them off this one because I'm not sure that I love them. So, this is the front of the card, so I got to do the inside, right? So for the inside, I'm actually going to use this leftover piece because why not? I can save whatever extra flowers that I have and use them on other projects. Pull off whatever that is. And then I can make more projects with them, right? Because I was just sitting watching television while I was die cutting these. Because what else are you going to do, right? Gotta just, you know, entertain yourself. Speaking of entertainment, our internet was off for most of the morning. And I had errands to run this morning. So I had a chance to get out. But it kind of messed up my whole day. Because I'm used to getting up, watching the local news, checking the weather, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So that was kind of weird. Look at me. I mean, you guys, it's crazy how much adhesive I have. So I'm going to do another one of these. I kind of want to get all the ends of this so it doesn't stick up too much on the inside of the card. then I think I'll use one of these in the other color. Then I'm just going to use Highland Heather ink to stamp. Now the front says thanks. Ugh. So the inside is going to say, I appreciate you. And I'm just going to set it off to the side here. There you go. It's a little crooked. That's okay. If you know me, you know I don't care about that. And I will add some of the gold. That again is too thick. So I will scoop it up. And then I will, look at this piece. It's driving me crazy. Also, you guys, I apologize for my nails. I am on a new medication right now. It's a temporary medication, but it has me exhausted. Like, it's because they're doing some tests. I think I told you guys that already once before. So anyway, this one I'm not going to put one on because it's just too small. So anyway, there's the inside of the card. So I'm going to just glue this down here. So look how pretty that is, right? Nice, fun inside. So let me show you the other one that I did. What I see, the little flowers, I just decided I don't want them on this one. So tell me if you think that they should be on there. I can always add them, but see, I just did them in the opposite colors. And notice that they're not the same. This one, this triangle goes up higher than this one, but it's okay because it's just, you know, for fun. I wasn't being exact about the measurement, and they're both a little bit different. So that's all right too. Anyway, there they are, and they both have similar insides. Now that one I had a little bit more of the flower, so I did put a half of the gold on there, but I'm just not going to for this one. So there you go. Those are my cards. Here's the other one that doesn't really look anything like those two, but you get, it's the same idea. So also these are stamped, embossed with gold from this wishing set. Forgive me, I don't remember the name of it. So that's embossed, and then this is cut out. It's cool. But these are embossed on top of designer series paper, which is what is behind this. So there you go. I hope you like it. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and enjoy Memorial Weekend. God bless everybody who is currently serving, and pray that you will come home nice and safe for us. And God bless all of those who gave the ultimate gift and why we remember them this holiday weekend. It's not just a picnic. It's a very important holiday. So have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Bye.